Yeah, it's finally here. The iPhone 10 is here to pre-order. Now, some people will be getting it early November, some people will get it a few weeks later, but either way, people can't wait to get this new iPhone. Now, the funny thing is, whenever it's a launch day for a new Apple item, especially the iPhones, you know that some websites are going to get crashed. Whether it's O2, EE, Apple themselves, whoever, websites go down when it's launch day. Everybody is itching just to get on there and make sure that they can pre-order, because like Apple always say, stocks are limited. And one of the creative things about Apple and the way that they tell stories and the way that they sell to people is scarcity. They use scarcity very well, because sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes they are hard to get and you might not get the first batch. Like sometimes it is actually working like that. But a lot of the time it's to create frenzy and to create that buzz. Because if you think there's fear of missing out, people are going to run to buy something. That's why people often say, oh, limited stock available, or get them while you can, we don't know how long they're going to last, or whatever techniques people use. But either way, they're using scarcity, and it works very well. Now, another thing that they also used was they used a decoy. Now, the iPhone 8, to me, how I see it is the iPhone 8 is a decoy. Now, you wouldn't release the iPhone 8, miss the 9, and then go straight to the 10, without setting up the 8 to be a decoy. Now, what I'm excited to see is how developers are going to create apps that you can use for content creation using the facial recognition from the new iPhone 10. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean by the same way we've got animojis with the iPhone 10. I'm expecting in 2018 to see new apps where you can actually put yourself in something using animojis, put graphics behind it, put your business brand behind it, put something behind it, and start posting stuff directly to Instagram, to Facebook, to Snapchat, and things like that. I'm interested to see where they take it with that, because there's a lot of possibilities with that. Also, the augmented reality. Like, obviously, this phone is one of the main features that they was talking about was the power of the chip and how it can process high-level augmented reality, and they've made that chip specifically with that in mind. So it kind of tells you the direction that they want to go in the future. And I do think a lot of things are going to go augmented reality. A lot of people do think in the tech space, do think that augmented reality is going to take over the retail space. And they think it's closer than what a lot of people think. So it's interesting to see where they take that as well. Now, for me, I just like to be creative and think of the possibilities of how I can help businesses use these types of features. And with an iPhone, which is more or less available to everybody can more or less, most people can more or less get an iPhone. So for me, it's looking at how can I help people use an iPhone to create content. Now, the iPhone can already film in 4K. Most iPhones, most phones, smartphones today can film in 4K. But if you mix 4K filming quality, the picture quality that they'll have, the ability to use the new studio lighting where they can put in studio lighting from a normal photo, all that type of stuff. To me, all it's saying is a content creation tool that is available to everybody. Now, this is massive because I'm shooting on a GH5 Panasonic, but that isn't available to everyone, and the knowledge of that isn't available to everybody. Like, it's something you have to learn and you have to develop and get better at. But an iPhone is literally a point and shoot. Like, you can just play around with it, and there's going to be new apps coming out that would kind of take you through the learning curve and show you how to use it. So it's more accessible to the small business and the startups and those types of businesses. Finished my meeting at the NEC, and we had a really productive meeting. Like, really good useful stuff has come out of this meeting. But while I was filming, obviously I'm doing my vlog, walking through,
minding my own business, and security comes over and stops me. I'm thinking like, what they're calling me over for? So I'm walking over and they're saying, why are you filming? And it says, obviously you can't film where you are, like you can't even film outside, where even though it's in the public domain, you're not allowed because it's surrounding the NEC area and you could be planning something or plotting something. So obviously I've had to see their supervisor then, prove that I'm here to see who I'm here to see and everything like that. There was fine once they saw it and everything. There was really helpful, really like kind of weren't acting funny or nothing like that, no attitude. The guy was really nice actually. I got talking to him and everything. Nice Irish guy, I was talking to him, it was funny. And then I ended up speaking to him for a while. Then I went to the meeting, had a really good productive meeting, and we was talking about loads of things, but basically I'm going to be looking to help them with their digital marketing side of things and really getting that out there. But one of the things that I've noticed, because she was showing me the demographics and all the statistics of what they do and the areas they cover and the businesses that they market and all the shows that come here. But one of the things that I've noticed, because it's right next to Resorts World, a lot of the billboards that the customers, when they're on their journey to wherever it is they're going, whether it's shopping or to a show or to a concert or whatever it is like that, they're really underused and they're really cheap. Like, that's what's mad. They're for the amount of people that they actually get coming to them, they're really cheap and they're not used as much as what they should be. So it's a kind of a no-brainer that businesses and brands should be using this, because as the customers going through traveling to the destination, there's loads of opportunities for businesses to market. And I'm going to try and film some of them so you can see them, but I might not be able to because you're not meant to film. But I'm going to try and see what happens. But yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. But if you are interested in anything like that, contact me, let me know, and I'll put you in touch with the right people, and I'll see if I can like work out a cheaper price for you or whatever it is like that. But they're already dirt cheap anyway. But yeah, so it's end of the week, and one of the most important things that you should do is always reflect on what you've done the previous week and go over what you're going to do in the next week that's coming up. And so one of the things I always do is kind of like look at the schedule, look at the concepts that I've got to create, and then come up with the content for it and just script it all down, write it all down, so everything's out of my head for the weekend, and then I'll unwind. Well, I'll try to unwind. On the way to football right now. This is when I go into competitive mode. When I'm on the pitch, that's when you morph into a beast, put that work in. That's where I get that competitive mindset from. It's cold tonight, man. It's starting to get cold now. I feel that winter coming. So I'm on the way to a little city-side game, and with this group, it's a good group because a lot of the people, they own businesses, they do their own little thing, and that they're employees, but they all have similar kind of mindsets. So it's kind of like networking, but at the same time it's football and sport and everything, and they're a nice group of guys. There's some ex-pro ballers in here as well, so it's quite competitive, and it can get a bit competitive at times, but it's got good competition, you know. It's good to have that competitive edge. So yeah, when you play to win. It's not about taking part. Don't believe that, kids. It's not about that. It's about winning.